all began 5 years ago when the pandemic hit, and my good friend Debra Giusti was going to be doing a fundraising event for our beloved Fantuzzi. Many of you know Fantuzzi. Social distancing and pandemic, and we didn't know what this all meant. And we were being told, you got to stay home and don't connect. So she contacted me and said, Scott, can we switch the fundraiser to a online event? Everybody was like, hey, this is really cool, getting together on Saturday night. Can we do it for the next few weeks or few months, depending on how long this thing lasts? We thought it was going to last 6 or 8 weeks. Well, here we are 5 years later, still doing shows. Now, this show began as a fundraiser. And since then, we've done fundraising for dozens of people who've lost their homes in fires, and we've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. And Debra has been at the center of that, really helping to bring in talented musical artists, bringing in amazing presenters. She brought in all of her friends over the years that from her 30 plus years of running the Harmony Festival. So she knows everyone from Deepak Chopra to Marianne Williamson. She would bring them in. We would have these great shows and raise money. Well, now it's our time to support Debra because Debra has something going on in her life, which we've had to pull teeth to get her to be willing to come forward and receive our support. But now it's time for us to support Debra. So with no further ado, I love you, Debra, and I'm going to turn it over to you to share with the audience what's going on in your life.
Thank you, Scott. It's so good to be on the show again. Hello, everyone. And I wanted to come on this specific show, which is sharing so much amazing information and practitioners in regards to healing, not only because of what's happening to me at this incredible time on the planet, but what's happening to a lot of people. Cancer, autoimmune diseases, and so many other health ailments are really an epidemic in our world now. Illnesses are at an all-time high in our nation, way above what other countries who choose to potentially live a bit more simply, naturally, stress-free. We, as the community of the Global Peace Tribe, have embraced philosophies of healthy living for a long time. Many of us have incorporated healthy and organic diet in our living. We address healing and nurturing of the whole body, mind, spirit. We also typically use natural remedies, and we don't go down the road of pharmaceutical industry. And I certainly have been doing that for a long time as well. But I have breast cancer. And a lot of women I know also have breast cancer, as well as people I know are getting other types of cancer and other diseases. So the reasons and solutions needed now are way beyond what I call that first step. So I'm here now on this show to show you how I commit to fully understand all the reasons and solutions that are available now and completely embrace the goal of making this information now, because the truth is the solutions are here now. This is a time of complete disclosure of all levels of life on the planet. And I'm sure you're aware of that, whether it's the dysfunction in our world, our medical system, dysfunction in our government, also the UFO disclosures and advanced technology they bring. But also there's a lot of health technologies that have been suppressed that are now getting revealed. So this is the time of mass healing, accelerated raising of consciousness, and collective spiritual evolution. So I embrace my journey of breast cancer as a part of all that. And I choose to see it as a huge learning experience. And I plan to share with you, as always, I'm going to make a big pot of lemonade to share with you. So I first had breast cancer in 1996, and that was about 3 months before I was producing the Harmony Festival, where 20,000 people would be showing up to this amazing transformational festival that I produced for 33 years in Santa Rosa. So that was very intense time to discover it then. I found out that the cancer was stage 1, which was great. I had a lumpectomy. I also had radiation, and I did all that I could with natural treatments. I also put a full-page ad in the program of the Harmony Festival because breast cancer was not really known at that time, and I wanted women to know and be aware and check for themselves. At that time, getting the healing and the surgery cost me $25,000, and there was barely any internet at that time or support system around me. But what happened that year that was really wonderful, my staff brought me up on stage. There was, at the end of the festival, there was 3,000 people, totally in a high state, standing with their arms raised to me, giving me healing energy at that time as tears were running down my face. It was amazing. So at that point, I did work on my life and I dialed in, kind of slowing down and doing all kinds of healthing. So it was a reset for me. But then approximately 2.5 years ago, Kaiser, who is the hospital and kind of medical plan I've been working with, detected something in my breast from a mammogram. And at that time, I didn't want to leave it up to Kaiser totally. So I also got a health practitioner that was highly respected and informed in breast cancer. So I thought I was handled. It was detected stage 1, so I had another lumpectomy. I opted out of radiation because the previous radiation in 1996 actually deformed my body and my breast on the right side. So didn't want to go there anymore, but did various types of some natural treatment. And I thought I was utilizing the expert consultation of the health practitioner and all that Kaiser could give me. The one thing that the health practitioner gave me was an important awareness of how toxins in our world are causing diseases and specific toxins that cause breast cancer. I did a high-level toxicology test, and I discovered I had huge mold in my body that I was not aware of, as well as glyphosate and other toxins. Glyphosate is like the Roundup that all the farms use that are not doing organic farming, and there's lots of vineyards in the area. So after that analysis, I cleared out the mold out of my office, and I did a lot of heavy detoxing. And the good thing is a lot of those toxins over the last 2 years had been removed out of my body. So that was one thing that was wonderful. But then recently, last October 2024, due to a mammogram, the cancer was found in my left breast again. So we looked at it with a biopsy, and after looking at the whole situation, I want to say this whole experience, I've been extremely misled in my treatments through Kaiser and the health practitioner that specialized in breast cancer. So Kaiser did a mammogram, found something in my left breast, did a biopsy. They wanted to do a lumpectomy. I checked with my health practitioner and he said, go ahead, have another lumpectomy. The analysis showed it was precancer, so I was curious about that. But they said they did not get clear margins. So they wanted to go in and do surgery again. My health practitioner said, okay. I said, okay. They went in, they did not get clear margins again. They wanted to go in a third time. My health practitioner said, do the surgery. Wondering about that, but I just went with it. Well, the third time, my poor breast was pissed. It was highly invasive. It got infected. It was not happy. Finally, my health practitioner said, well, come in for an exam. He finally did a breast exam. He found not only a lump on my left breast, which the mammogram did not detect, but a lump on my right breast. He finally said, you know, mammograms are not reliable. And I said, okay. And he said, you should be doing an MRI. So very strange, he did not say that 2.5 years ago. So only after my 5th surgery did I find out that Kaiser does not recommend mammograms because they're more expensive. They just try to find the cancer and cut it out. Well, I told my surgeon that I wanted a mammogram. Excuse me, I wanted an MRI. So the mammogram showed a lump in both breasts now that they had never detected before. They did biopsies. It showed that the lump in the left breast that had the precancer was benign, but showed an active cancer in my right breast. So that probably had been there the whole time, but the mammogram never showed it. So What Kaiser wants to do now is to cut them both off. They are saying double mastectomy. And my health practitioner says, well, that's definitely one way to go, but he's not giving me any of their options. So just cut them off. I do not want my boobs cut off. And at this point, logically, it doesn't make sense. I only have precancer with a benign lump in my left breast, and my right breast is stage 1. So I think I need more information and resources. So when you come to a point in life like this with any crisis or confusing situation, it's important to stop, tune in, take responsibility, and seek higher guidance, medical, spiritual, and at all levels for a true path to health and harmony. That's what I've always done. So first of all, I had to admit that I did not take on my own healing from the core of my being. For 2.5 years, I relied on Kaiser and this health practitioner to do it for me. I did not educate myself. I did not take the power of healing into my own hands and my own heart to make the choices from a completely informed position. So I had to admit that. I was just too busy running all my businesses, growing my businesses, and relied on them. And I feel like now I was totally misled. I felt like they did 3 unnecessary surgeries with very limited options. So please know, just it's how I roll. Whenever I learn things in life where I feel like I can help others, I share. So I'm going to share with you now what I've learned at this point. Do not rely on mammograms. I've found out Kaiser only uses them just to keep doing surgery, and they only let you see the oncologist after they've cut everything out. But mammograms are not reliable. MRIs are good, but there's also all kinds of ways you can detect things, and I'm learning and finding this out. And if you had cancer recently, you should not wait a year like Kaiser did and let it go. You should do regular testing. And number 2, and I feel so kind of misled on this, do regular breast exams. Now, I remember hearing a long time ago that that's like breast cancer 101, but Kaiser or my health practitioner did not do any breast exams on me, and I didn't do them either. I just had turned my healing over to them. But women should be doing them monthly, and you should have a professional do it every 6 months, especially if you've had cancer before. And then you can really act proactively. Also, use surgery sparingly. I'm realizing that Kaiser only advises that you see an oncologist after they do as much surgery as possible to cut it all out. And I'm learning that precancer, which is called DCIS, it's actually common in older women and can be handled other ways instead of cutting it 3 times like they did for me without adequate diagnosis and techniques. There's many other ways to dealing this. So I do plan on researching this. I have a consultant who specializes in DCIS, so I'm going to learn all about this and get better advice. But the eliminating toxins is really important in all kinds of healing. And I'm sure all of you are realizing that now. So this is important in cancer prevention as well as overall disease. So that's number 1 key, is release the toxins. It's also important to deal with healing emotions, reducing stress, and up-leveling your spiritual connection and vibration, not only for cancer, but all of life. And there's much, much more. I want to get expert consultation and take advantage of the other cancer treatments available now instead of the option that I have, the double mastectomy. Well, I posted this publicly on Facebook about my journey, and I'd asked my community what they knew about cancer, and I've literally gotten hundreds of resources. So I've documented it all, and I am going to be researching it and following it through and get some better treatment and really be educated on what's possible. And when I hear that certain treatments over and over again have been successful, I'll be able to share that these are the most successful treatments. But I have to be honest and real at where I'm at. I've already spent a huge amount of money in the last 2.5 years on basic cancer treatment. I've had financial challenges growing my businesses and other personal, unfortunate financial challenges. So I have to admit, I'm on the edge and I cannot afford these new treatments. So I'm admitting that I need help. Now, it's not easy for someone like me to ask for help, but I am spiritually opening my receiving channels to receive. It's not easy for a lot of people, especially women who have become masterful at giving, to ask for help when you've always been the giver. But that's where I'm at. As always, as I've done in my whole life, what comes into me and what gets received will evolve through me and go back out to you, my awesome community, with entirely new evolutionary offerings, because that's how I roll. And also, I can share vulnerably, I'm also experiencing a double whammy because my mom is in the process of dying and she will be dying in the next month or two. So what I've done is launched a GoFundMe. I've never done this before, but I'm just seeing all this help coming to me so I can move forward strongly with treatment plans and researching everything. So please help if you can and spread the word. And I've made it really easy. You can go to the website supportdebra.com, supportdebra.com. And Scott, you can share the GoFundMe now and share about that if you like.
So, of course, here's the GoFundMe. And I'm going to invite everybody, and we're kind of launching it. Tonight is the official launch of it. We started this a couple of days ago, but tonight's the official launch. I want to show you a couple of things that are good to know. So I'm going to donate right now, and I'm going to give her $111. Now, here's a really important thing. Down here, you can adjust how much of a tip to give to GoFundMe. And GoFundMe has that bar at a really high level. You can take it all the way down to 0. So you don't have to give GoFundMe money if you don't want to. I appreciate GoFundMe, but I also don't like that they have this bar that high. So I'm actually going to make it, well, I'll give them $1, 56 cents. And then and then from there you click your payment method and go on. But I just want to let everybody know how to do that. And before we complete, I am going to ask us to all tune into our energy, and we're going to do a group healing right now for Debra. So I'm going to go to gallery view, and I invite everybody in your own way, tuning into your highest part of your being. And we are sending maximum grace to our beloved Debra. Maximum grace. I'm going to go back to Debra now. Maximum grace for Debra. Maximum grace for her mother, who's now in hospice. Maximum grace for Debra, her mother, her family, and her beautiful body temple. And let's keep Debra in our prayers. And just to lighten things up, Debra, can you share the story about your mother and the pearly gates?
Yes. My mom's a crack up. She's so amazing. She goes in and out. It seems like she goes to the other world. And then she'll come back and crack jokes. So she came back and she said, I went to the gate and it was a little bit open. And I said, okay. And she said, and I shut the damn thing because I'm not dying yet. And I came back. So she's told me she's going to be around for a little bit longer. And so that's so precious. And Scott, I'd like to show my website.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I can take people there. Here's her website. DebraGiusti.com. And Debra, anything you want me to scroll to or point people?
Oh, you can just scroll down. If you want to know everything I'm up to and where this resource that I'm going to create for breast cancer is going to be is on this website, DebraGiusti.com. So as soon as I research everything, show the top, techniques for cancer, which is like really coming up, and share all that, it'll be on this website.
Beautiful. So everybody visit DebraGiusti.com, but more important, go to the GoFundMe right now. Let's donate. And of course, I'm going to complete my donation.
And Sheila thanks you.
Thank you. Thank you, Omashar. Thank you, Debra Giusti.
Thank you, Debra. I was so touched by your open sharing. That is so refreshing. Thank you so much.
It is so perfectly Debra Giusti to take this and make it a process to share with all of us. It's amazing. Connie wrote it perfectly. Connie just wrote in the chat box, Debra has been of such inspiring service to humanity over the decades. Blessings and deep gratitude. And it's true. She is one of the great community builders. And so, Debra, we are with you all the way. And thank you, everybody, for your donations.
Debra, you are such a powerful light and inspiring leader for all of us. So thank you so much for just, everything you do, all who you are, and also sharing so vulnerably about your journey and really also sharing with all of us so that we can learn from your experiences as we move forward. So thank you for just continuing to be this incredible community leader and bringing all of us together. And I'm so happy that we're all able to send you healing. We're continuously sending you healing and seeing you healthy, healed, whole as you are in all of your glory always. So
and with my boobs.
Yes. And with your boobs, of course. That is important.
Maybe, Debra, we need to start a Save Debra's Boobs campaign.